We've explained the three paths, namely Karma path, Jhana path and Jnana path. As for the first path, namely Karma path, living a life of purity, purifying our physical, verbal, mental behaviors, and in accordance with these actions, karma, we are reborn in the human and deva worlds, that's all. And when we follow the path of jhana, lokiya jhana, mundane jhanas, we can be reborn in the Brahma world, fine material, immaterial worlds, where we can live for many eons like yogis. Now as for these two paths, are they permanent? They are not. They are subject to impermanence. There is no security. When there is no security, that means this also is, such path also will be subject to suffering. Suppose you have perishable goods and they are good before they perish. But since they are perishable, they have to be included in the list of undesirable products. So too with existence. If one is reborn in an existence which is subject to arising and passing away, impermanent, then this kind of existence also will have to be listed under undesirable list category. And we cannot prevent undesirable things to happen, nor can wish desirable things to happen all the time. They are not controllable, they are not manageable, they are not self-soul, living entity, abiding co, only sabhava, phenomenon rolling on, and they are anatta, not self. They are substanceless. So, how much we can experience the human and deva happiness. Even if we follow the jhana path, we can live as Brahma for a long time. But when we have spent the time or span of our life, span of this karma and jhana, the force of karma and jhana, then we will fall back to where we belong. And we can fall back to lower worlds and so on. And we cannot be free from existential suffering. That is for sure. So we have to follow the third path, namely jnana path. Where do we start to walk this path, jnana path? We start at the stage of kammasakata sammaditthi, the right view of karma as your own property, or karma and karma result, which is like a junction. From this we branch out. We branch out to various branches. And according to the Buddha's moral law, the ethic of the moral law, is that good morality entails good consequences. And even good consequences, there are various stages, sometimes good existences, or sometimes leading towards the freedom from suffering in the end. And bad morality entails bad consequences. This is a basic concept. So, according to this concept, we have to choose the best one, follow the best path which is most guaranteed. And in the Buddha Sasana, Buddha dispensation, the best path and the guaranteed path is the path of jnana path. So, with the jnana path, we can free ourselves from craving tanha, thinking that existence is pleasurable. So, as much as we are not able to cultivate jnana, possess jnana, then we'll not be able to be free from this craving tanha. So whichever deeds, or good deeds, we are going to perform. Any deed which is most effective in overcoming these two unwholesome mental states, namely avijja, tanha, ignorance and craving, is the best method. And this method is none other than the practice of satipatthana, walking the jnana path. So with jnana path, we can overcome these two unwholesome mental states, namely avijja and tanha. Today we shall discuss this subject. The population of the world runs into billions, and out of those who believe in karma and karma result, karma as one's own property, both from the theoretical and practical aspects, are not many. They are in the minority. This moral causation concept that good begets good, bad begets bad, is a basic moral concept. And this has been said in the Buddhist texts that those who believe in this understanding of karma and karma result is most crucial. This is the basic understanding of karma and karma result is most crucial. So that with this basic concept and understanding, one will abstain from immoral deeds, because one does not wish to realize undesirable consequences, because they believe in this karma and karma result, moral causation, and also they will abstain, and they will observe what should be observed, because they know that good deeds will bring about good results. So, as for the majority, they are confused, bewildered, deluded about this concept of karma and karma result. When we say deluded, means they are not clear. If one is not clear, one will not see the truth. That means one becomes stupid. Then darkness is said to have fallen on such a person. And because of this moha, darkness or moha, delusion, people are not aware of this basic concept of karma and karma result. In Pali it is known as karma samoha, delusion about this action, moral causation. Moha about karma and karma result. That means darkness has fallen on such persons. So, one has to begin with this basic understanding of good, the moral causation law, that good deeds bring about good results and bad deeds will bring about bad results. If one does not believe in it, then one becomes karma samoha, and if one believes, one accepts this karma and karma result, one is said to have overcome this karma samoha. That means there will be no more delusion about action, karma. In the Buddhist text, it said, those who believe in the truth of the Dhamma, the truth of the Sangha, is said to possess saddha, faith and confidence. And also, believing in this concept of karma and karma result also amounts to saddha. So saddha has two aspects: faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, the three jewels, and faith in the karma and karma result. Now, even if one cannot accept the truth of Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, it is enough to accept karma and karma result. That should be enough for the present to undertake the practice. One cannot force people to believe in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. So in short, saddha means faith in the three gems and the karma and karma result, or either one of the two. So this basic understanding of moral causation law is known as Sammaditthi, right understanding, right view. And when we combine with Kamma, it becomes Kamma Sakata. That means Kamma is one's property. And then it becomes Kamma Sakata Sammaditthi, right view, right understanding about Kamma as one's own property, or Kamma and Kamma result. So this basic concept is also called the light of samsara, or light of the world. It is called light of the world because even if this light or this concept disappears in this world, it will appear in another world. That's why it is called the light of the world. But those who believe in such things are in the minority. If one accepts this basic concept or right view of the moral causation, karma and karma result, then we can say that this light of samsara or light of the world has not disappeared from such a person. If one does not possess this basic concept, then this light of samsara and light of the world has disappeared from this person, not to mention the light of sadhana. If one accepts this concept, then one is said to possess the Sammaditthi, right view. Then for such a person, this light of samsara, light of the world, or even light of sadhana has not disappeared from such a person. The light is still on. So these two things, lightness, the light and the darkness. Now the yogis who have come here to practice are mostly fulfilled with this basic moral causation. That means that they still have, or the light of samsara and the light of world is still on with them. So how about other lights? What kind of lights are there still besides these two lights? What kind of darkness are still there? So we should be able to discuss this subject. Now as regards the concept of the light of the world or light of samsara, in this regard we may mention these four major ideologies or doctrines such as Brahmanavada, Buddha, Christianity and Islam. And out of these, the first two, Brahmana, doctrine of Brahmanavada, Brahmana concept, and Buddhism, Brahmana or Hindu, accept this moral causation, karma and karma result. That means they have this light of the world or samsara. As for the other ideologies, they don't accept this moral causation. Even Brahmanism is dualistic in that they also believe in the existence of the omnipotent being, the Brahma, the supreme Brahma. On the other hand, they believe in the karma and karma result. As for Buddhism, they don't believe in the omnipotent being as creator, and they believe only in the karma concept of moral causation, karma and karma result, that good deeds entail good results and bad deeds, bad results. So this is the difference between these ideologies. Now even Buddhists who are living under the light of the world or light of samsara, based on this basic concept of Kammasakata Sammaditthi, they perform dana sila, dana, acts of generosity, to help others to fulfill the needs of other people. That's generosity, dana. And perform sila, morality, and to improve oneself and not to harm others. And that much. They just do deeds only this much. They restrict their good deeds only to dana and sila. So they are not free from the light of sasana as yet. Although they possess although they have this light of the world or light of samsara, they don't possess, or the light of sasana is not, the light of sasana is not lighting or is not bright or shining on them as yet. Now Buddha has said that there are only these two things, mind and body, and nothing else. And the mind and body, or the Dhamma. What is Dhamma? Dhamma means it's not the living entity, it's just the phenomena, it's just the sabhava, it's not the self or soul. There's no such thing as jiva atta, the void of jiva atta. Now what exists, what is correct is sabhava, the characteristics or the mind-body process, or the phenomena, psychophysical phenomena rolling on, that is Dhamma. Dhamma is neither self-soul, neither atta, neither living entity or abiding cause. So if one only understands only from the theoretical aspect, has not seen or practiced the existence of mind and body, nama-rupa, then one will hold on the view of atta ditthi, the view of self or soul. That means clinging, hanging on, holding on to the view of self or soul, atta. Because one is not clear-cut about the Dhamma, one holds this view of atta ditthi. Not seeing the realities of mind and body, not seeing the realities of the Dhamma, not seeing the realities of the ultimate, sakaya, that means the realities of mind, body, which are very obvious, which can be noticed, which can be realized in all these in activities, in every activity, namely seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling, and so on. These mind, body are obvious during these activities. That is known as sakaya. The mind-body aggregates which can be realized through experience, that is sakaya. Now because one is not mindful of this practice of mindfulness, in order to comprehend the mind-body, that there is only this mind, that this is the body, being able to distinguish between the two, one holds on to the view of atta, self or soul, or living entity, or abiding core, that these mind-body are self or soul, or this mind-body atta, the self or soul exists in them. These two ways, that this mind and body, the psychophysical phenomena are atta, or atta exists in them. So this is the view of atta deity, distorted view of individuality. Or it's called another name, sakaya deity. Again, the distorted view, wrong view of self or soul, or living entity or abiding core, a distorted understanding of the existence of self or soul in respect of the realities of mind and body aggregate which can be realized through experience, that is sakaya ditthi. So because one is not mindful with the practice of satipatthana to realize or to comprehend this mind-body, one is said to be overwhelmed by this Dhamma samoha, delusion about the truth. And because one is not seeing the mind and body, one holds on to the view of atta ditthi or sakaya ditthi, the view of individuality or the distorted view of individuality, distorted in that one has misunderstanding about the existence of self or soul. So for such a person, the light of sadhana, not the light of samsara, but light of sadhana is said to have disappeared from him, from her. And this light is not bright, shining bright on such a person. That is the light of sasana. So based on karma sector Sammaditthi, the concept of karma is one's own property. If one is satisfied with just the 2 good deeds of dana and sila, then although one may have this light of samsara or light of the world, one will not have the light of sadhana. The light of sadhana will not shine on such a person. So it is necessary to practice, to realize, to comprehend this mind-body, existence of mind-body and nothing else. So then the light of sadhana will shine on such a person. Now these 2 things will be discussed, Dhamma Samoha and Dhamma Vavutana Sammaditthi, both from the theoretical and practical aspects. Let us say for some reason we wish to ban our hand. First of all, there is an intention or desire to ban the hand. This desire or intention occurs in stages, followed by the actual bending process. This bending process also occurs in stages. Bending in terms of stiffness, tension, movement, rigidity, hardness, heat, and so on. All these things are materialities. So, as a result of this mentality, intention, there arises this series of materialities as effect. And this is mind-body process at this moment. And if we take out this mind-body process from this banning, the manner of banning or the process of banning, there will be nothing left. There's no such thing as person, being, individual, atta, self or soul. Only mind and body, nama rupa. So first of all, we have to understand this concept that there's only this mind-body process, nama rupa, and nothing else. And if we take out this mind-body, there will be nothing left. So, at the moment of bending, there is this intention, this is nama, mentality, this is also dhamma, this is sabhava, nama dhamma, we call nama dhamma, the dhamma of mentality, or the mentality state. Now this nama dhamma is not atta, self or soul. It is just nama sabhava. So we have discussed sabhava very often. So again, this sabhava, dhamma are synonymous, just phenomena or characteristic or just element or process. So intention again is mentality, the nature of mentality, nama sabhava. And the actual bending process as a result of this intention is the materiality, rupa dhamma or rupa sabhava. So during the process of this bending of the hand, there are only these 2 things, mind and body, nama rupa or nama rupa process. They are dhamma, made up of nama dhamma and rupa dhamma. They are the real sabhavas, the real qualities. At what stage? At the stage of, or at the time of bending your hand. So if you want to understand this mind-body sabhava, mind-body process, then all you have to do is just connect with the arising process, in this case connect with the bending process. Then you are bound to observe this mind-body process. If not mindful, then you will not comprehend this mind-body process, mind-body dhamma, because you are not mindful, you are not aware, you are said to be deluded, confused. Then this gives rise to dhamma samoha, confusion about the dhamma, or dhamma delusion, and on in respect of the mind and body. They are the realities. And in respect of those realities of mind and body, you are confused, moha, or avijja, ignorant. So, at every bending and stretching, or bending in this case, if you are mindful, you are bound to see this sabhava, mind-body process. And if you are mindful for 1 minute, at the rate of 1 second, if you are not mindful, at the rate of 1 second per delusion, then you will be deluded 60 times. There will be 60 delusions. And there are other activities as well, not only bending but stretching, standing, sitting, walking, lifting, moving, placing, seeing, hearing, and so on. There are many things, many nama-rupa dhammas happening at every action, at every stage. So if you are not mindful at the moment of this process with the practice of Satipatthana, at the moment of the arising of this nama-rupa dhamma, you will be confused and deluded. And this is moha, darkness in a way. So darkness has gained the priority. So it becomes dhamma samoha, samoha of the reality, samoha of the truth, the delusion of the truth, over in respect of the mind and body. So at that moment you are said to be deluded. And darkness arises in respect of the mind and body which has arisen. Because you are not mindful, you are not aware of this sabhava. Thinking that there is this self and soul in them, it is this atta, self or soul, which is intending to bend, and also this self or soul which is actually bending. So in this way, you tend to hold the view of atta deity, the view of self or soul. And this arises at the moment of bending, not seeing the realities. These realities are known as sakkaya, the realities of mind-body which can be experienced directly. That is the meaning of sakkaya. And because you are not mindful, you think there is self or soul, there is an atta deity, there's a view of person being individual, instead of the realities. That again leads to sakkaya deity, the distorted view of individuality. Thinking wrongly, or thinking wrongly the existence of self or soul, or person being individual, in respect of the realities of mind and body, which can be experienced directly. So not seeing the truth, that darkness overwhelms, leading to distorted views. So if you are mindful, respectfully, carefully, you are bound to see, you are bound to gain this knowledge. That is at the moment of bending, that is this nama dhamma, the intention, namely the nama, the mentalities, and followed by the actual bending, which is materiality, and you come to realize this mind and body process. This is Dhamma Vavotana. Vavotana means seeing clearly or discriminately. That is Dhamma Vavotana. Clear, seeing clearly and distinctly or discriminately about the Nama Dhamma and Rupa Dhamma in respect at the moment of the bending or stretching process. So at the moment of bending, at this mind body, there's nothing extra, nothing besides mind and body. So your seeing becomes very clear, your view becomes clear, so that you overcome these two distorted view of self, or distorted view of individuality at that stage, momentarily, when you see the truth. If you don't see the truth, then you are deluded about the truth. Because not seeing the truth, you are not seeing clearly. And it is important to see the truth as truth, to see what exists as it is, to see things as they arise. That means truth as truth, realities as realities. So if you want to know the realities, you just be mindful at the moment of this process, bending, stretching, and so on. So if you are able to see things clearly, see the truth of the Dhamma, then you are set to overcome this Dhamma samoha, delusion about the truth. And instead, you come to possess Dhamma vavotana Sammaditthi, the right view of seeing the truth clearly and discriminately. This is the beginning of the life of sadhana. There's no need to purposely overcome or rid your mind of Dhamma samoha. That is moha, delusion about the mind-body sabhava. This can be overcome by substitution. Substitution with Dhamma vavotana Sammaditthi. That is, every time when you are mindful, you see or comprehend mind, body discriminately, clearly, seeing the truth. Now this quality of Dhamma vavotana Sammaditthi, the right view of seeing clearly, seeing the Dhamma clearly, can be a substitute, can replace this Dhamma samoha, delusion about the truth. Now as soon as this Dhamma vavotana Sammaditthi arises, this Dhamma samoha, delusion, will disappear automatically. Just like when light comes, darkness goes. When light comes, darkness goes automatically. You don't have to remove the darkness. As soon as you light, the darkness will go. Prejupada avijja nirodho. That is the expression. Prejupada, as soon as you know or cultivate knowledge, the ignorance will cease to exist, will disappear. Avijja nirodho. Avijja will cease. As soon as vijja arises, as soon as knowledge arises, then ignorance will cease to exist. Why? Because light has come. One has come to know, become aware, cultivate knowledge, gain insight, the insight about mind-body existence, seeing the truth. Why do we know the truth? Why do we see mind-body process? Why do we gain insight? Because the mind is free from impurities. Why does the mind become pure? Because one mobilizes the mental powers at one act of mindfulness. At mindfulness, one mobilizes these mental powers. Now, when you want to bend, there occurs the mental aggregate, the nama, the group of nama, the group of mentality, followed by the group of materialities, rupa aggregate. So this way you come to see the nama dhamma and rupa dhamma. Because you see this because initially your mind is inclined to gain insight, to gain knowledge, to see into the realities. As is said yesterday, tadadi modata, your mind is inclined towards insight. So as soon as the object arises, you note with correct aiming, vitaka, that is the jhanic power of the right aim. So with this intention, just to aim, just to connect, that is your only intention. As soon as the object arises, you will deeply connect with whatever arises. In this case, the bending of the hand. And you exert energy so as to drive, so as to direct your mind towards the object, so as not to miss it at the moment of bending, to see the mind-body realities. So, with sustained mindfulness, there is a stilling of the mind, unification of the mind. So all these mental powers are mobilized at the same time. This proper connection, deep connection with the object, so as not to overshoot, not to miss. And then this exertion, deep exertion, in order to direct the mind towards the object, so as not to allow any impurities to enter, such as the hindrances of sense desire and all that, are not allowed to enter your stream of consciousness with the exertion of energy. They are not given a chance at the moment of this energy. But they have no chance at all. So, and the energy also is applied to direct the mind. The mind is directed towards the object. So there is no chance of other things to occupy the mind at that moment. And with the resulting mindfulness, your mind is protected. And with the stilling of the mind, there are no impurities, because your mind is not distracted. There's no dispersion, there's no restlessness. So in this way, you mobilize this group of mental energies, so to be free from hindrances such as the hindrances of sense desire. So as much as you are free, the light is bright upon you. You become bright with light. So freedom, your mind is free from impurities, clear, pure, so that there's only light. It shines bright with light, and see clearly the mind and the body. That is Dhamma Vavotana Sammaditthi, the right view of seeing clearly the truth of the Dhamma. So as soon as light comes, darkness goes. This sort of opens up at once, instantaneously. So with this example, you can apply to other activities. Then as much as you are able to apply these mental powers, light is bound, you become bright with light, as much as you are free from impurities, seeing the mind, body clearly, seeing the truth. So this applies to other activities. If you are mindful at the moment of sitting, standing, lifting, moving, breathing, rising, falling, and so on, even to the extent of minute winking and all that, minute details, not to miss them, as I said, tatati modata, inclining your mind towards gaining insight. While you are eating also, you are inclined. While you are sleeping, of course. While you are standing, sitting, or drinking, there's only one inclination, one intention, that is to cultivate insight. So, in this way, you're free from these impurities with the application of these mental powers, mobilizing these powers. You're free from impurities, therefore the light shines on you bright. So by connecting deeply with the object as it arises, seeing the mind-body, then one sees the mind-body process, mind-body sabhava. This is Dhamma Vavotana Sammaditthi. This is the first of the light of sadhana, or this begins to shine. This is only beginning. Is it enough? It's not enough. It's only the beginning of the light of sadhana. At the moment of bending, there arises this mentality, group of mentality, Dhamma aggregate. Why does it happen? Or why does this group of materialities, rupa aggregate, happen? These have to be known still. If causes are not known, then still we are in the dark, samoha. If we're not being mindful with the satipatthana, the conditionality or causal mode, then we are not still clear about the cause-effect process. Then we are not still awakened to knowledge. So, why does this intention happen? Why does the mentality happen? Why does this materiality happen? So if one is not clear about the cause, then we still are in the darkness, we are still deluded, bewildered, unclear, confused. This is known as paccaya samoha, delusion about the cause. That we are deluded, or we are not clear about the cause of this conditioned psychophysical phenomena. We still are in the darkness. So, since we are not clear, or to be clear about the cause-effect process, and we are released from this delusion, or not only conditionality, but also the relevancy of conditionality. Not only the causal mode, this cause giving rise to this effect, but also relevant cause giving rise to relevant effect. This is relevancy of conditionality, and then only will you be able to realize this right understanding, paccaya vavotana sammaditthi, the right view of understanding clearly the cause. This is the second light of sasana. Once one is deluded about the cause of a phenomena or a thing, then all sorts of doubts can enter one's stream of consciousness. Not being able to comprehend the sabhava, not being able to see things in a clear way, in a true way, not seeing the truth, or not knowing the truth at all is avijja, ignorance. Or even if one knows in a very deluded way, not clear, doubtful. This doubt can lead to distorted perception. So for those who do not accept this cause or causes of things, that the mind-body arise not through any cause, they arise by chance. Such a view of causelessness is known as ahetuka ditthi. Just see. Now, because one does not see the cause, one does not believe in the cause, one becomes doubtful. This doubt can lead to distorted perception. Now, another case is, though some accept the cause and effect, but one does not see the process, the relevancy of cause and effect, then one will still be deluded about the relevancy of this cause and effect process, thinking that or taking that this is caused by some omnipotent being, fictitious cause, like caused by Brahma or King of Devas or any omnipotent being. So such a fictitious cause view is known as Visama Hetuka Ditthi. So just see, because of this delusion, doubt, distorted perception, these do not stop at this stage. For some people, for others, they will always pin down on their karma, past karma, for anything which happens, good or bad, is fatalism. Always about the thinking that all these things are due to karma. Such a view also is known as Bhubhikata Hetuka Ditthi. This is another wrong view. The root cause lies in the doubts, leading to distorted or wrong perception, not knowing the cause and effect process, not knowing the relevancy of this conditionality. We are still in darkness. Our time is up now, so we shall continue to discuss the subject of Paccaya Vavutthana Sammaditthi, about this conditionality, relevancy of the conditionality, and to see the truth of the matter. Sadhu, 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 sadhu.